So as a minimalist, I'm a very big fan of simplicity and intentionality. I like to do things in a way that is straightforward and not complicated, and I like to know that I'm doing things the best way I can be doing them. I also want to know the why. I want to know that there's a good reason for me doing the things that I'm doing. And so in this video, we're going to be talking about 6 minimalist friendly swaps. Things that you can change or upgrade that will make your life more simple, more productive, more organized, healthier, more environmentally conscious, and generally just better. A little bit of intentionality can go a very long way in assuring that you're living the life that you want to be living in the best way possible. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it. Item number 1 is a cast iron skillet. If you're still using Teflon non-stick cookware in 2023, it is time to get rid of that trash. Those pans are terrible in every way. They're terrible for your health, they're terrible for the environment, they make your food taste like trash. Why is anybody using Teflon? It's totally beyond me. A lot of people don't realize that when you heat up a Teflon pan, it leaches toxic chemicals into the air from that non-stick coating. And if that coating gets scratched at all, which let's be honest, it often does from a knife or a spatula, it's now leaching those chemicals into your food. That coating is also terrible for the environment, and as a self-professed food snob, somebody who actually likes to cook, I've never really understood the appeal to non-stick cookware because it doesn't allow your food to get a really good sear on it. It doesn't really make your food taste very good. Cast iron, on the other hand, doesn't have any of those problems. This is by far the most versatile piece of cookware you will ever own. You can put this thing on the stovetop, in the oven, on the barbecue, in a direct flame. You can fry in it, you can saute in it, you can steam in it, you can bake cookies in it. You can actually bake cookies. If you've never had a skillet cookie, you are so missing out. But unlike Teflon that leaches chemicals into your food, cast iron actually adds iron to your food, which is an important nutrient that we all need. Cast iron skillets are also known as the buy it for life skillet because these things do not die. There will never be a reason you would need to throw this out. Some people pass them on from generation to generation. No joke, there are people who have prized cast iron skillets that are like hundreds of years old from their grandparents or their great-grandparents. Once you build up a good layer of seasoning, it has a naturally non-stick surface, it sears deliciously, it's basically like having a barbecue in the house. This particular skillet only cost me about 20 bucks. I've had it for several years already. It's still just like new, and I can't really ever foresee a reason why I would have to upgrade it or replace it. It's virtually impossible to kill these things. You can scratch them, you can scorch them, you can burn them. You could probably bludgeon somebody to death with this thing. But yeah, you could basically do anything to this thing, and no matter how badly you think that you've messed it up, all you have to do is scrape off the layer of seasoning, give it a good scrub, re-season it, and you're good to go. So cast iron instead of Teflon is an absolute no-brainer. It's cheaper, it's healthier, it's better for the environment, it's more durable, it's longer lasting, and it's way more versatile. Get yourself one of these. And hey, while we're already in the kitchen, we might as well talk about swap number 2, which is gonna be about food storage. One of my biggest pet peeves ever is Tupperware containers that are mismatched, scratched, stained, gross, broken, missing. There's nothing quite like opening up a cupboard and having an avalanche of Tupperware just fall out on your head and not being able to find a lid and a container that match.
You mean there's a better way?
These are my beloved Anchor Hawking glass food storage containers. I know I've talked about them before. Yes, I'm in love. Gone are the days of mismatched lids. Gone are the days of spaghetti sauce stains. These things just make life so much less complicated. They come in a variety of different sizes. They can actually nest into each other, like they stack into each other. You can put them in the fridge, you can put them in the freezer, you can put them in the microwave. You can even put them, not the lids, but the glass part, into the oven and bake right in them if you really want to. I love the way that they look all neatly stacked in my kitchen cabinets, but even more so, I love the fact that unlike plastic, the glass doesn't harbor any weird smells or tastes. If, like me, you've ever had the misfortune of eating a chocolate chip cookie that tastes just a little bit like garlic, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's time to ditch the plastic Tupperware. It's time for an upgrade. This stuff will last so much longer. Again, it's better for the environment. It's better for your wallet because you don't have to constantly keep replacing things. And it's just a way better way to store your food all around. Minimalist swap number 3 is a home water filtration system instead of bottled water. I would like to believe now that we're in 2023 that everybody knows bottled water is terrible for you and terrible for the planet and people have stopped buying it, but unfortunately that doesn't actually seem to be the case and I can't really understand why. Buying bottled water is inconvenient, it's overpriced, it's bad for the planet, it's bad for your health, and personally I've always found that I can actually taste the plastic bottle in the water itself, which is really unpleasant. Drinking tap water is so much more convenient, it's cheaper, it's better for the planet, but depending on where you live, it may not necessarily be better tasting or healthier. Story time, but when I moved into this house back in June, I came in, I turned on the sink in the bathroom to wash my hands, and I was immediately hit by the overwhelming smell of bleach. And I assumed that it was because the sink had just been cleaned out and maybe the bleach hadn't been rinsed down. But fun fact, It wasn't the sink, it's the actual tap water. I was shocked how much chlorine is in the tap water. It actually smells like a pool when you turn it on, and it's terrible. So like most people, I turned to one of those grocery store water filters, and I found that it helped a little bit, but the water I was drinking still kind of had a little bit of a subtle taste of pool water, which brings us to the sponsor of today's video, Simpure. This is the Simpure Y7 countertop reverse osmosis water filtration system, and it is an absolute game changer. This sleek little machine takes your not so tasty tap water and turns it into pure, delicious, fresh tasting water by removing vinyl chloride, chlorine, and most other harmful substances. It utilizes reverse osmosis, UV, and carbon filtration to remove any impurities which cause funky tastes or smells. And using it is super simple. All you have to do is fill up the back reservoir with your normal tap water and plug it in, and you're good to go. The machine will automatically start filtering your water, and all you have to do is push a button to dispense it. Since I've started using this machine, I feel so much peace of mind knowing that I'm no longer drinking all sorts of weird stuff in my water, and neither is Levi. If you'd like to get yourself one of these awesome machines, there will be a link in the description box down below. Thank you very much to Simpure for sponsoring this video. For swap number 4, we're gonna have to go upstairs for a moment, so let's go see what's going on up there. Hey, by the way, I got a new chandelier installed. Do you guys like it? So much better than the Builder boob light that was there. Let's go into my bedroom for a sec. Still got a boob light going on up there. That one's next to go. Anyways, one of the simplest and best decisions I've made was to buy all matching socks. Something that I hate, kind of similar to the Tupperware situation, is mismatched socks, and honestly, I hate sorting laundry. I hate having to dig through and find 2 socks that look the same. And I say this even as somebody who has always bought just plain black socks, but I've bought different socks from different brands and different lengths and different thicknesses, and it's so annoying. So something I've recently started doing is just buying the exact same socks over and over and over again. I buy them in packs. I'll link to them again in the description box down below, but let me show you how easy this is. I buy these. They're plain, black, low-cut socks. Nothing special, right? But let's say you're folding laundry and you're like, oh no, I can't find all my matching socks. Hey look, they're all the same. Magic, boom. All right, let's say you're like, oh no, I ripped a sock, one has a hole. Do I have to throw away both socks? Do I have to get rid of the whole pair? No, I can just match them. Look, new socks. So much easier. No longer do you have to search through and have 2 mismatched socks like some stupid kindergartner. Matching socks. Buy them. And now I have 2 matching socks like a grown-ass adult. Look at me. Way to go. Really moving up in life. Minimalist swap number 5 involves your coffee routine. And I know people are very touchy about their coffee, but if you're using a Keurig, I promise you, you can do so much better. Keurig coffee is overpriced for what it is. It's terrible for the environment, once again, with all those stupid little pods. And to be honest with you, I know I'm gonna shake some people up by saying this, the coffee is terrible because it's stale. Those little pods do not keep your coffee fresh. If that's what you're used to drinking, I hate to say it, but you may have never had a fresh cup of coffee in your life, and you can do so much better. Personally, I have 2 different ways of making coffee. I have a pour over, which is what I use when I want regular coffee, and I have an espresso machine. Both of them allow me to use freshly ground beans in the quantity that I need to make 1 cup, to make 2 cups, to make as many cups as I want with no waste, but without having to buy those silly little Keurig pods. I get quite a few questions about my espresso machine, which will be linked in the description box down below, along with all of the other items that we're discussing in today's video. But if espresso is not your thing, like I said, there's pour overs. You also have the option of an AeroPress. You have the option of a French press. You have the option of a mocha pot. There are so many ways that you can make coffee however you like without the waste of a Keurig and without having to drink stale coffee, which who wants to drink stale coffee? I really think a lot of people just don't know that they're drinking stale coffee. That has to be it, right? Nobody would do that on purpose. And finally, minimalist swap number 6 is one that I will admit I was skeptical about for a long time, and I probably talked some shit about in the past, but it is wireless earphones. There was definitely a point in time where I just did not see the benefit. I was like, why do people need to spend more money on earphones? There's nothing wrong with the ones that come with the iPhone. They're totally fine. And I have to tell you, I have a lot of strong opinions, but I am not adverse to admitting when I was wrong, and I was very wrong. Wireless earphones make your life so much easier, especially when you're using them for phone calls, which is predominantly what I use them for. I can leave my phone plugged in and charging, I can leave my phone on the countertop, and I can just walk around the house and not have to worry about getting a cord tangled up, not have to worry about my battery running out and being far from an outlet. Additionally, I have pretty wonky reception in this house, so if my phone is in my pocket and I have wired earphones plugged in, there's a pretty good chance the call is going to drop. But with wireless earphones, I can set my phone where I know it's going to get the best signal and leave it there and then just walk around and do what I gotta do. Personally, I use Apple AirPods mostly because they were gifted to me and also because I'm somewhat invested in the scam that is the Apple ecosystem. You absolutely don't need to use Apple AirPods. There are far less expensive options on the market. But upgrading yourself to a nice pair of wireless earphones really is a nice luxury to have. And it's one of those things you didn't realize you were missing out on until you actually gave it a try. So are these an absolute necessity? They're not, but I do find that they are one of the items that have made my life a lot easier and made me a lot more productive, made things a lot less complicated for me, and so from my perspective, I think they're worth it. So those are my 6 minimalist friendly swaps, and I'm very curious to know your thoughts on them. I'm curious to know if you've made any of these swaps recently yourself, or if there's anything else that you've recently upgraded in your life that you found has had a really positive impact on your general happiness, organization, productivity, simplicity, etc. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, if you found any value in it, please go ahead and hit that like button. Hitting the like button actually really does help out the channel a lot more than you realize, so I really appreciate it. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. You can follow me on Instagram at according_to_Nicole. Channel memberships are also now open. If you're interested, you can join Levi's fan club, which will give you a special custom Levi emoji and badge next to your name when you comment on these videos. You can hit the button below that says join to get more information or to sign up. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching as always. I really appreciate it. Take care, and I will see you next week.